Hello, my name is R.D. Jones, and I am the Executive Director of Clearly College Park, the Business and Industrial Development Authority for the City of College Park. And I would like to welcome you to the Clearly College Park podcast. Today, our guest is Ms. Eleanor Cornelius, who serves as the Chairman of the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. Welcome, Ms. Cornelius.
Thank you, Art. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, great. Before we begin our interview with Ms. Cornelius, I would like to provide you with a question, a Clearly College Park fact. When did the first post office in College Park start? If you don't know, please stay tuned to the end of the show and I will enlighten you with that date. So, Ms. Cornelius.
Yes.
Welcome once again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you're one of my, 7 bosses. For the City of College Park, you serve as the Chairman of the Development Authority, and I'm the Executive Director. So you are the one that sets the agenda, and you're the one that pops the whip, and you are very, very efficient in what it is that you do. I would like to start off with you just saying, where are you from, and kind of bring us up to speed, your education, profession, and anything else that you might want to expound on.
Okay. I'm from a small town north of Athens, Elberton, Georgia, and we have the distinguished title of being the granite capital of the world.
Oh.
I attended Albany State University in Albany, Georgia.
All right.
I also matriculated at Brunel University, where I received my master in educational specialist.
Okay. Cool. And tell us a little bit about some of your college activities, the obvious.
Okay. Well, Artie, as you well know, I'm a member of a great sorority of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Ski-wee.
Yes, absolutely. So that was part of what I wanted to do because I'm all about service. Mm-hmm. I always try to remember this scripture that to whom much is given, much is required. And I feel that the only way I can do that is being passionate about my service to the community.
Okay. And you said you had your master's in education and your specialist also.
Yes.
So you're in education, I take it.
Absolutely. I'm proud to say that I'm a retired teacher. Taught school for 35 plus years in Fulton County Public Schools.
Okay. Well, one thing I've known about you, even before I knew what your profession was, you had that educator type attitude or tone, because I know that whenever you talk, it seems like everybody else knows that they should be quiet and they should get back in line. And being the chairman of a development authority, like any other more major organization, you need to have order.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your time in College Park. How long have you been in College Park?
All right, Artie. I've been in the metro area for approximately 40 years.
Okay.
I first lived in Sandy Spring off Roswell Road for 5 years.
Okay.
And I used to commute back and forth from Roswell Road to East Point, and that was about 5 years. So I tired of the commuting, so we decided to buy a home in College Park, and that was absolutely the best thing that we could have done.
Okay.
We purchased a home, and then I was closer to my workplace. It was like 5 minutes away. I worked at Brookview Elementary School off of Washington Road. As a matter of fact, I retired from that school.
Wow.
And I was very involved with the students there. We had cheerleading, we had Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, what have you. So I've always wanted to give back to the community.
All right. So what do you love most about the city of College Park as opposed to Sandy Spring or any other area that you lived in the Atlanta metro area?
I really love the friendliness, the camaraderie with the different neighborhoods. I always try to keep in mind that it's one College Park. It's not whether you live in Ward 2, 3, or 4. We have to be able to work together. And that's my goal whenever I'm doing anything. Like I generally work with the City Fest, and that's what we have in the city. And that involve all the wards. So as long as we work together for the city of College Park, I believe we can make everything happen. The sky is the limit.
Right. Since I've been here in College Park, what College Park reminds me of is a family in
Yes.
that you have some inner fighting amongst
Absolutely.
family members at times, but the fruits of what comes out as the final result seems to be very, very positive, and it seems to be, provide a higher quality of life for everyone within the city of College Park. What do you attribute that to the most within the city of College Park?
I believe collaboration, cooperation, and just simply working together. Although we live in different areas of the city, our main focus is working together to make things happen for our great community.
Right. I know that you do a lot of service work with your sorority. I've attended several events that you guys have sponsored. And tell me this: how did a retired educator make it into the chairman of a development authority, a major development authority that is responsible for building the Georgia International Convention Center, that's responsible for owning over 400 acres of property, that is responsible for building the new arena that will house the College Park Skyhawks and the Atlanta Dream basketball team? How did that even come to happen?
Okay, I have to start back to my community when I first moved to College Park. I would always reaching out to working with the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or what have you, the City Fest. And my former councilman at that time was Charles E. Phillips.
Yes.
And I guess he recognized my commitment to the community, and he asked me to join the Bida board. And with that, I understood that that would be a true commitment to work and make our community the best that it can be. One College Park, the city of College Park.
Right. Okay. So you said that you've been in College Park since '85?
I've been in College Park since 1984.
Oh, 84. Okay. One more year.
1984.
So tell me, what is different in College Park in 1984 to present? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh my God, it's been like a metamorphosis in the city of College Park. I can speak about what happened in my ward where I live now. We used to have a plaza, and in that plaza we had Woodworth, we had a bakery, we had an Asian market, and right across the street we had a cleaner and a dentist's office, which that no longer exists.
Okay.
However, we do have Global Parkway over there that we did not have. We used to have the street called Chapman Spring, and you might not remember that, Artie. You probably were in high school at that time when we had Chapman Spring over there. But we have had a lot of change in College Park, and that is inevitable. In order for you to move and grow, there's going to be change, and we have to decide if we want to accept change or we want to resist. And you have more energy that you're going to use trying to resist change. Now, for downtown College Park, my favorite store used to be the College Park Shoe Store. That's no
I've
longer
heard about
there.
that.
However, we're getting a new restaurant there called Nouveau, I believe. That's taken that building. It used to be David's Cleaners.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to patronizing that restaurant. And we have many great places to eat on Main Street at this time. Now, where I remember we didn't have those places. So we're going to embrace those and keep those places going.
A lot of the change in College Park has been attributed to HartsfieldJackson, Atlanta National Airport. Them growing, expanding, acquiring homes, apartment complexes. I know for some time it was a little bit rough, with a lot of people moving out of the community and everything. How has that affected the city of College Park as a resident from your perspective?
Quite frankly, Artie, the noise, but at a period of time, I guess we've gotten used to some of the noise. However, when I first moved here, we didn't have as many planes moving, but Hartsfield Airport has grown, and therefore we have more noise. However, I'm certainly hoping at one point that we can come up with something that will help the residents regarding the noise, and hopefully that will take place sometime soon in the future.
Okay. And what are some of the positives that have come from HartsfieldJackson Atlanta International Airport and them being able to become the busiest airport in the world?
I think number one would be employment for our citizens in the city of College Park. I would say that is so important that we have jobs available for our citizens from Hartsfield Airport. Also, the different transportation that we have now that we can use here in the city to travel back and forth to the airport. Hartsfield Airport, as you know, is the number one airport. So it's just a pleasure to have that in our community, to say that we are a part of the Hartsfield family.
Yeah. College Park is a very small community, as you know, 11.1 square miles in size and, under 15,000 residents here in the city. I think one advantage that College Park has is, of course, they have a major economic engine here, HartsfieldJackson.
Correct.
And they have, MARTA stations here, 2 MARTA stations in the city of College Park.
Right.
Plus, we have, the ATL SkyTrain, which is direct connectivity from the airport to our convention center. Then we have the convention center,
Correct.
And so we have a lot of different types of amenities that cities our size would not normally have.
Right.
How do you think those things have affected us? Do you think they have been for the positive? And I'm talking about from a local, since you were from the community, has it been a positive thing, or is it more so something for those visitors?
I think it has been a positive thing. Absolutely. It provides entertainment. It provides, like I said, employment for the people that live in the city. And it's just a good thing to have that we have some places to go and work and enjoy the different activity. And we're very excited about the Skyhawks coming to the Gateway Center, and also the Atlanta Dream. So here again, we're opening opportunities for our people in the city to enjoy and participate.
Okay. All right. Well, we got some great things coming up. The new arena will be opening very soon.
Right.
And the announcement with the Skyhawks and also the Atlanta Dream is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Who imagined that, a little city of 15,000 people would have two professional teams, within, maybe 6 months period of time. It's just crazy. If someone was contemplating living in the South Metro area, why should they live in College Park versus East Point, Hapeville, or the city of South Fulton?
I believe the reason why they should live here in the city of College Park is because our government is open to all. You get to meet your officials, the mayor, the councilman, and you see them in the community. Any problem you have in the city, you can go and have a discussion with whomever that is. If you're having a problem with public sanitation or what have you, the doors are always open for you to go and have a conversation with those people. So I feel it's more family-oriented and nurturing, that if there's an issue, the doors are open.
Okay. And with serving as the chairman of the Development Authority, I'm quite sure that you've probably learned a whole lot, probably more than you would like to even know about economic development and the various complexities. But do you feel that the city of College Park is moving in the right direction? I know sometimes you're for some projects, you're not for other projects, but do you feel that we're moving in the right direction?
I really do. I try to stay focused on our purpose, Artie, and our purpose as a BIDA board is to attain development and promote for the public good and general welfare, commerce, trade, industry, and employment opportunities. And I think if we stay focused on what our purpose is, we're going to be okay.
Right. And we've seen a lot of development that's been going on around the Gateway Center, and we're going to be talking about the airport city in a moment, development going on there. But the south side of College Park, what part do you feel that the Business and Industrial Development Authority, clearly College Park, could play in actually developing the south side of town also? Because people from the outside, if you say Old National Highway or Godby Road, there are certain connotations that come with that, which they, not always true.
Right.
So what can the Development Authority do on that part of town?
I just think we need to focus in on where the target building, that place over there. I think we need to come up with some revitalization for that area. Also for our 18 acres that we have around Charles Phillip Park. I mean, that area has been vacant for quite some time, and I just feel at this point we need to revitalize it and rejuvenate it so that it can flourish as well.
Okay. Airport City, 400 acres of developable property. It has a 9-hole golf course, mixed-use development with residential opportunities, retail opportunities, hotels, entertainment. This is once an area where it was mostly residential,
Right.
with some businesses scattered throughout. How do you feel about the Airport City project, and how do you think that this particular project is moving in the right direction?
I certainly hope that it's moving in the right direction. I feel that as long as we keep our citizens involved in making decisions with what we want to do over there in that area, I believe it will be successful. But I think we have to keep lines of communication open for all.
Right. And, we've had some, at our Clearly College Park board meetings, we've had some pretty heated conversations from, board members, residents sometimes showing up. They may be misinformed sometimes.
Correct.
What do you feel that those, our viewers, if they have a concern or any other issue with development in the city of College Park, how do you feel they should address that? How can they address that?
Absolutely. I feel they need to come to our council meetings. We have council meetings on the 1st and 3rd, and at that time they have executive sessions where they make decisions about what's going on in the city. And then during the council meeting, we have an opportunity for our people in the community to come forward to ask questions, discuss whatever concerns they might have for the area where they might live. So I think if we start taking advantage of those things that we can do to express our concerns, we can be heard, and then we can move forward.
Okay. And lots of times when you think of development, people think of automatically economic development, but they really don't look at the human component, the community development side of things. An example of economic development is, creation of jobs, building buildings, developments, community development, making sure that person is trained, ready to take on those new jobs that are created, or being able to, own their own home,
Right.
Build wealth over time. So I think College Park does an excellent job with economic development. But there's room for improvement.
Absolutely.
I think that we're doing a pretty good job with community development, but I think that we can do a lot more. What are some of those community development type activities that you think we should be focusing our attention in?
I think, Artie, what we need to do is have more public forums and surveys, what have you, and ask our constituents, what do you want? What's your vision for College Park? And have them to share with us what they would like to see happen here in the city. And I think then we'll have a more clear direction on what we need to do.
Yeah. I feel the very same way, is that the citizens have to stay involved,
Absolutely.
stay engaged,
Ab-
but yet at the same time, I think the city a city like College Park has to do more than what's required. We have to meet people where they are,
Right.
as opposed to, okay, I advertised this in the newspaper 2 times. That's the requirement. We have to go into the communities where the people are, to meet them where they are, to make sure they're well aware of these opportunities, and if we have to hold their hand to get them to a point or a place where they can realize a higher quality of life that is not only for them, but it'll be for generations to come.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also think we have to reach out to, what's so unique about College Park, we have different neighborhoods and we have different needs. And like one neighborhood might be tech savvy and they get on that computer and they find out what's going on the website. Whereas in another ward, they might not be as fortunate to have that technology that they can find out what's going on in this city. So I think we have to find a way to bridge that gap.
Definitely.
How we can make contact with everyone in the city.
Yeah.
To
And
keep them informed about what's going on.
Yeah. Every now and then, I would say probably at least once a year, I'll get this angry phone call or this angry email saying, I didn't know about this, and why didn't the city do this and that or whatever else? And, I kind of get angry because in anything that we do, we try to reach out to do what we can to make people aware of what's going on. But lots of times, we fall short of the mark because we just can't reach everybody for one reason or another. So it becomes we all just have to do a better job collectively. And that's why it's great to have people like yourself, volunteers, advocates in the community, even serving on boards to provide us with, to be that, that voice to communicate with those groups that we may not come into contact with. As much as I'd like to get out in the community all the time, I got to stay in the office to do office stuff too to make sure that the wheels continue to turn.
Artie, I was just thinking here that maybe we can come up with a plan that we can get young ambassadors to reach out and go to the different communities and keep our constituents informed about what's going on in this city, especially, like, for example, I'm just using it for an example of Airport City. If we had a group of young people reaching out to the different citizens in the neighborhood, then they would know what's going on and they can embrace what we're doing in the city as opposed to saying, well, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't hear about it. And so we have to find a way to make sure everyone is involved, and if they want to be at the table, we need to find a way to get them there.
Right. Well, that's an excellent idea, and we can talk more off the camera about starting something like that because there's a it's one thing for me and you to talk one to another, but our influence is not realized unless we reach out and speak to the next person, and that person speaks to the next person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The entire reason behind the Clearly College Park podcast is to get our story out, our story being the city of College Park, about the great things that are underway. And there's a lot of great things that the city is doing. There's a lot of great things that your sorority is doing.
Correct.
But until we communicate that to the world, and there's documentation of it, then will others realize that, what's going on truly here in the city of College Park. Tell me this, how do you, in retrospect, when you look back at our sister cities, Hapeville, and East Point, and now the city of South Fulton, the collaboration that's going on, that has gone on in the past, I feel is not anywhere where it is right now because we seem to communicate well with our sister cities and work together. It's not like we're competing against them.
Right.
How important do you think collaboration is?
Oh, collaboration is extremely important. We need to stay in communication with the different cities, Hapeville, Fairburn, East Point, and come to the table and just talk about brainstorms, ideas, and what do we know? They might be doing something over there that can help us over here in College Park. Right. So I think it's always good to keep the doors open for communication and collaboration with all the areas nearby.
Yeah, my experience in economic development has shown me that when you don't have collaboration, that you really are not getting anywhere.
Absolutely.
When you're not open to diverse audiences, your community eventually dies. It gets smaller. and everything declines.
Right.
And what I've realized about College Park is open.
Yes.
They accept anybody. You got to act like you got some common sense, but we accept anybody here in the city. Okay. Well, in a couple more questions, and then we're going to be wrapping things up.
All right.
Your experience, I believe this is this January, you've served 2 years as the chair for the Business and Industrial Development
This
Authority.
is my second year, yes.
Okay. Well, I've told you this before, in sidebar talk and everything, and this is not a zinger.
Okay.
But, you're very well spoken. You got your act together. You're a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Have you looked at any, serving in any leadership capacities in the future in an elected capacity as opposed to an appointment?
Ooh, Artie, many, many moons ago, I was interested in running for a council seat. However, after speaking to some people and I didn't get the support I thought I should have received, I decided not to do so. But I just think I'd just rather be a foot soldier and be of service for the city of College Park at this time.
Yeah, I understand you totally. How I look at it, and this is with becoming an elected official or getting the next career opportunity, is that when the time is right, you'll know it. Everything will fall in place.
Absolutely.
And anytime you're trying to force something, more than likely, the one above is kind of giving us some signals that, hey, maybe we need to lay off.
Absolutely.
But I feel that you do an excellent job within the community, and you're, I look up to you. I work for you, work with you, and I appreciate the support that you provided, and the leadership that you have provided. Clearly, College Park over the last, I guess, 5 years, maybe?
This is the 6th year.
6 years. 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you started out the same time that I made it here to the city of College Park. So, it's definitely a pleasure working with you in your official capacity.
And I'd just like to say that Economic Development Department, we have like a trifecta group there. We have you and Tasha and Gary there with economic development. We have the Main Street, Renee with the Main Street Association. And then we have Mercedes at the fabulous GICC Center and now the new Gateway Center. So with all these people working together for one purpose, that should be commended, and we thank you all for that. You make our job easier on the board.
All right. Well, thank you. And now that we're closing in conclusion, is there anything that you would like to leave with our guests that are viewing today? And keep in mind, our guests, elected officials, anyone else. What would you like to leave them with right now?
I would like to leave with them to know to keep the doors open for suggestions and ideas for our great city, because the sky is the limit for what we can do here for the city of College Park. But we have to be open for change. So I'm just asking that our elected officials and others just keep the doors open for communication from the citizens.
Yeah, not burn any bridges, right?
Absolutely. And one other thing, I want to remind the viewers that they are welcome to come to our meeting the second Thursday of every month at 6:30, located at the GICC Center.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Cornelius,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair Cornelius.
Thank you, Art. It's been a pleasure.
All right. And that concludes this session of Clearly College Park podcast. And now for the Clearly College Park fact. The question was, when was the first post office opened here in the city of College Park? That happens to be in 1892. The first post office opened here in College Park, and it is still here to this very day on Main Street. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Clearly College Park, and my name is Artie Jones, and I serve as the Executive Director of Clearly College Park. And remember, Clearly College Park is where you will land in plain sight. Thank you.